Welcome back, and right now we're going to look at the master channel. ATFC's master channel has been saved as a channel strip setting, and actually I have that loaded into my template, so whenever I start off a new record all these plugins are on. I work throughout the whole process with them on, and that's just the way I like to work. Some people disagree with that method. I tend to like the way the track sort of progresses, sounding like a finished record from the word go. And I don't have 2 days of mixing at the end, as is traditionally the case. I tend to just get to a point where I think actually this record is finished, and it's that point when I lower the dBs to minus 6 dB and take a couple of settings off just to send to the mastering engineer before finally being released. So I've saved my ATFC master channel in my channel strip settings, and that's already loaded into my template. So let's have a look at what's actually going on here. Well, in this case, this is the first one. It's the NLS bus. In this case, it's not actually being used, so I'll explain this at a later date on a different tutorial because it's quite in depth and I don't want to waste time talking about that because it's not being used. So let's leave that. What's up next? Well, we've got the UAD 4K Bus Compressor. Let's have a listen with that plugin on. As you can see, it's just tickling at around the 4 dB mark there. Zero threshold, a small amount of gain makeup, automatic release, 1 millisecond attack, and 2 ratio. So that's with it in and out. In. You can hear it's really very subtle, it's just squeezing a tiny element. And in. So that's that, UAD's 4K Bus Compressor. Up next is Native Instruments, or rather Soft Tube's Passive EQ. Now let's have a listen to what this is doing. This is with it off. And on. You can just hear it's just adding a little bit of depth, a bit more bass, and a bit of sparkle to the top end. So you can see it's boosting the low end a tad, cutting on the low mid and boosting high mid and high, obviously in stereo. Now surprisingly, it's a preset. It's the Mastering Club preset down here, right at the bottom, and I haven't really changed anything. In fact, I haven't changed anything. It's just the Mastering Club preset. So let's have a listen again to that on. Just adding a bit of depth and sparkle. And off, and on.